This week on JTV, we're creating a chocolate ribbon butterfly branch featuring the Gorgeous Ribbon from Reliant. Today's chocolate brown project centers around ribbon, beautiful Reliant ribbon. Look at these great textures, all in the chocolate brown values, but each one is slightly different and each one has its own personality. That's going to be the focus of the arrangement that we're going to create. And we're going to create it in this wonderful chocolate brown container. We know that everyone still loves chocolate, so we wanted to focus with a wonderful special event piece that uses butterflies. We've created another butterfly project, and you can check it out on Season 1 DVD of JTV. We used orchids for the butterflies, but today we'll use butterflies on that branch instead. You can make this any size you want. Remember, a smaller size might be perfect for a tea party. Our project's going to be a little bit larger today, but you can decide what size works best for you. We've soaked a sphere of Artesia foam and placed it in this container. Now you could also work with styrofoam if you were creating a dried arrangement, but we're going to use a few accents of fresh flowers in this. So it's important that we have the water resource for those flowers when we place them into the arrangement. So the ribbons are going to be the first thing that we add to the arrangement. You'll notice I've chosen several different types. I have a satin. I've got a beautiful one that has embroidery and sequins on it. This one is all about texture because it has the satin background, but then the wonderful velvet damask pattern on top. This one is a raw silk, and this one's a sheer. So all of those textures are going to work together in the chocolate color to create interest in our arrangement. I've cut these into lengths and done a dovetail on the end. Let me show you how simple it is. Take your ribbon and fold it over, making sure that both sides are even. And then take your scissors and cut through. Then, when we open it up, we have a dovetail. Now you can do them very severely as well and cut them real long so that you also have very long tails. The choice is up to you. I've done that with each one of the types of ribbon that we have. So each one has that wonderful dovetail end. The reason for this is because it's going to add texture to the arrangement. The next step is really fun. We're going to take these ribbon pieces and our stick, using the flat end of the stick, we're going to push that into the foam. And then our ribbon is going to stand up. We'll alternate using the different types of ribbon. I'm going to start with the satin, just so that I get a good pattern all the way around and a good mix of that color. Depending upon the width of your ribbon or the size of your container, you'll be able to cut less or more pieces of ribbon. Now you'll notice that the satin ribbon, because it's double-faced satin, lies a little flatter and hangs beautifully off the side. Whereas this one has a wired edge. So when we go in with it, it stands up a little more. Each ribbon has its own personality. That's the great part about Reliant Ribbon. I've been to their showroom in Dallas, and it's fantastic because there's all sorts of different kinds of ribbon for every occasion. Every color, every pattern, it's really marvelous. Then we'll come back in with another type. This one has a wire as well. So notice how those different textures are starting to work together. You'll also notice that all of these were a number 40 width of ribbon. This one is a number 9. So that's going to add difference of width as well and help add to the textural appearance of the entire arrangement. You know, in the flower world, we're limited to a few flowers that have the wonderful chocolate brown appearance. But at the same time, in the ribbon world, there's all sorts of different chocolate brown ribbons. So when you're looking for a specific color for a theme that you've created, ribbon is an easy way for us to bring in that color and incorporate it and help theme our entire event. We still can see in between a little bit of the foam. We're going to take care of that in a few minutes. I'm going to put this off to the side. And our next step will be the branches. Now, you can use any type of branch that you want. This morning, I went out and my redbud tree is just starting to leaf out, so I used some of those. But you could use a manzanita branch or anything. It doesn't have to be flowering or leafed either. It could be a bare branch. You could paint it silver. You could paint it chocolate brown. You have a lot of different ways that you can personalize this for your special event. The next step are my butterflies. I've got two different types. These are created by Plus One, and some have a wire and some have a little clip. It's great because I have different opportunities to use them differently. But what I'm going to do, if it has a wire, I can just take that wire and wrap it around the stem. These are brown wires, so they're concealed very easily. I'll add my wire ones first. I find that it's easier to work on the branches when they're laying on the table than putting them into the arrangement and then trying to figure out exactly how to reach them. So this is an easy way for you to attach those butterflies first. We can also attach one right up at the top too. I think we'll put one more right here. The rest of these all have clips. That's an easy way too, because then we can clip them right onto the branch itself. I usually clip it over two branches in a little fork like that so that it won't spin around. I also like the way that it sets it up off of the branch as well. Now again, because my branch has leaves on it, I need that artesia foam that's down inside that vase because that's going to give a water supply to this. It's going to last for several days and it'll be wonderful. If I didn't have leaves, this branch could be in this arrangement for a long time. And if we use styrofoam and we didn't use fresh flowers, this could be a permanent arrangement. I'm going to hang on to two of these so I can see exactly where I need them in the arrangement. We'll start with our smaller branch and decide where we want that. trim our end and place it into the foam. This great side piece can come off that direction. We'll split this one up. The great part about this is you can adjust them and put them exactly where you want them. Then, it looks like we need one more butterfly here. And we'll put one more out here. The next step is to add a few fresh flowers. Two of my favorite brown flowers. This is the Hypnose Rose from Euphoria, and these are Brownie Gerbers from Rosa Flora. Again, two different colorations. The Hypnose Rose is great because it's a tween color. It falls between other colors, and as we add this to our chocolate brown, it takes on a brown cast. Hypnose is wonderful because if you put it with pink, it looks pink. If we put it with red, it starts to take on a red cast. In this case, it takes on a beautiful chocolate hue. We're just adding these roses in between the ribbon and right into the artesia foam. And then the Brownie Gerbers. You want to make sure that you get in between the ribbon so that the flowers are going directly into the foam. And I'm adding them all the way around, so this could be a great centerpiece. Now, I wouldn't necessarily have to use fresh flowers. As we talked before, the sphere could be styrofoam. Then I could use some ribbon roses. We have a great webisode from Reliant about ribbon roses. And I created these the exact same way as in that webisode and attached them to a wooden pick. So they can become part of this arrangement as well. Let's tuck this one right up here in front. We'll bring the bud up here to the side. Now I've got one more final step. The sheer ribbon that we had before. Because this is so interesting and it adds yet another texture, it's going to make this multidimensional. We're going to cut some long lengths of the sheer ribbon. And I'm just cutting them at a regular angle cut so that I have a little bit of a difference from the dovetail. Then, with my stick, using the flat end again, I'm going to go in and do this in sweeping loops, giving curls so that we've got beautiful tails that are hanging off the side. It gives us a see-through appearance. Especially when we surround a flower or drape it over the top. I think I need one more. We'll start with this one right in the center. Look at how great that looks over the top of that rose. And it's okay to let it fall out on the table. In fact, we could just take one piece like this and then let that all coil up and spill out onto the table. That's a wonderful way for us to use that. Now, don't forget our Chrysal Glory on our flowers. And it doesn't hurt to give a shot to those leaves as well on a fresh branch. This is a great way to use ribbon to theme your next special event. The colors and the textures and the fabrics are endless, and Reliant has everything for you. What a great way to have your next special event be the perfect color. Until next week, keep having fun with flowers.